everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to our weekly lunch chat. I hope you all have had a lovely week. I've had a pretty busy week. You can tell that the holidays are rapidly approaching. The shop is hopping, full of people, full of knitters, full of gift buyers, full of husbands. Sometimes husbands narrowly miss their knitters. We've had some close calls. So it's been pretty fun. I hope that all of you are coming close to finishing your gift buying / knitting. I'm getting closer. I'm still rapidly knitting away on a couple of items, one of which I can't show you here. Don't want any pesky little family members jumping on this video and spoiling their surprises. So, but one of them I can show you, and I'll show you that in a minute. I'm just going to wait a few seconds here and let some people jump on and have a chance to see that we are starting. I'm going to have a quick sip of my coffee here. It's been really gray and rainy, which means it's multiple coffees a day weather. I don't know about you guys, but whether I need the coffee or not, I just want a hot beverage in my hand. So I try to mix it up sometimes with herbal tea so that I'm just not completely mainlining caffeine, but whatever, you know, coffee's good. So anyways, I'm going to give you a little peek here at the current Christmas knitting that I've got going on. We'll talk about this in just a minute. Yeah. No sound. Sarah Mulholland, can you hear me? Can anyone chime in with a comment if they can hear me? Oh, weird. What is going on? You can hear Sarah. Okay, so sometimes in Facebook you have to actually tap to get to unmute if a video starts live. So it might be an issue where you need to actually tap the video to make it play. So I'm gonna just go ahead since Sarah can hear. So here's one of my current projects. This is, I know it's unassuming to look at because it's in this lovely, just kind of pale gray, but this is a eco cashmere. This is Blue Sky Eco Cashmere. This was on one of our Days of Knitmas this week. Some of you grabbed some really good deals on this cashmere yarn, and it feels so amazing. It's from Blue Sky. It's half recycled cashmere from the garment industry and half virgin cashmere. So what that means is that they go around on the floors of textile mills, collect all of the scraps and ends, reprocess that into a yarn. So that's half of what this is. And I am loving knitting with it. So this pattern is for a scarf for my dad, and it's the Yarn Harlots 1-row scarf pattern. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this, but it's genius. And it's just a little freebie that she's got on her blog from like 14, 15 years ago. It's been a while, and it's just one row that you do over and over again, and it makes this beautiful reversible textured pattern. It lays flat. It's perfect for a scarf. It's quite manly if you need a gift for a man. So I am chugging away on that. I'm about a third done. That one I'm hoping to finish by Christmas. So we'll see. Any bets? I've also got another kind of slightly larger project, but I can't show you that right now. So that one will maybe have to wait till after Christmas if I finish it in time. It's a shawl. We'll see. So on the subject of gift knitting, though, Jill just finished up our shop sample of my Melinda hat. You might remember from about a month ago, I published a new hat pattern called Melinda, and I used a 5-color gradient set from Frabjous Fibers, and so it stripes in 5 colors with this great seed stitch texture. Jill has just finished our sample in a solid. So here is that. It's not been blocked yet, so it doesn't have its full slouch in effect. But this is the Melinda in Knitted Wit Superwash Worsted. I love, love, love this green. It's so gorgeous. Hi, Sandy. And we're going to put this beautiful yarn pom-pom on it after it's been blocked. So Kara, who makes the Cardi bags that we sell here that we cannot keep in stock, she's the pom-pom whisperer. I am not kidding you. She makes insane pom-poms. This is just a good old traditional solid pom-pom, but last year for Christmas, she gave me mottled pom-poms, polka dotted pom-poms, one that's kind of like a pink and brown camo. It was insane. Hey, Martha. So Kara was gracious enough to make this pom-pom for us this morning when she was in for Afghan class. Yeah, so isn't that cute? Melinda looks just as good in a solid yarn as it does in that Frabjous Gradient. So that's a great quick gift idea. And another fun idea, and this one would be even faster because it's on size 10.5 needles, and we just got this yarn in. We've been anxiously awaiting it. So those of you who did the yarn tasting, you got a little taster. I got her last skein. It finally arrived. It arrived 2 days ago. We have Entropy Bulky. How beautiful is this basket? There's other colors too. We didn't get them all in here, of course. But so this is our favorite Feederbrook Farms Blueface Leicester. And we've had the DK for years, and it does a subtle stripe color effect when you knit with it or crochet with it. And she has finally come out with a bulky yarn, and it is just so beautiful, squishable. We put it in baskets up front at the shop, and everybody just stops dead in their tracks and like has to like touch the baskets and squish. It's pretty funny. Just a second. A ball fell down. So here is what Jill is doing for us for a shop sample. She has this color here of the Entropy Bulky and this color of Barocco Mercado. It's kind of a rosy pink. My lighting in my office is kind of crappy, so it's very warm in here. The light is warm, and so it doesn't quite depict completely accurately. So she is doing a hat pattern of mine called the Funky Fair Isle Hat. Hi, Jen. And she's just barely got going, but you can see how fun it is to use the Entropy here against a solid color. So the Entropy started out in this darker purple, and it's slowly moving up into this lighter blue. So fun. I love doing color work patterns with self-striping yarns. It just kind of takes extra layer of work, and it makes such a cool effect. So that yarn is available on the website without pictures. I'm going to work on pictures later today since we just got it in. Here, let's look at one more color because it's just so pretty. Isn't that fun? I love it. This color is called Specific Heat. Oh, she makes the best yarn. I just absolutely love it. Her name's Lisa Westra, and she is just fantastic. So Entropy Bulky. I have to take a quick side note here. We're going to do a quick little shout out to the public. This adorable hat, we sell these little kits here at the shop, little toddler hat with a kitty on top. This was found on Oak Street the night of the tree lighting and the light parade. So if anybody you know, or if you made a hat like this and gave it to somebody, some poor child is without their little warm hat. It was in the wet and the mud, and Jill found it when she was out for her morning walk after the parade the next day. She's washed it. We have it here at the shop. We have it sitting on the counter in case somebody recognizes it. So if you know some little toddler that had this hat, or you made this hat for some little toddler, it's at the shop. We've recovered it. We've washed it. We would love to get it back to its proper owner. Should we talk about what's behind me? Yes. This is the Powellton sweater. This was this was a challenge. So it's currently on display at the shop. I need to get the buttons for it, obviously. I don't know. I'm a pretty advanced knitter, and this one really took it out of me. I don't think I could, in good faith at this point, sell it to a customer and recommend it as a knitting project. There is some ambiguities in the pattern that I think can lead to a lot of frustration, especially if you maybe weren't quite as advanced as I was. Jen, if you're still on the video, can you hear me? We have a couple of people who aren't able to get any volume. So I just was wanting to check in and see if you could hear me. So it's beautiful. This is Kelborn Woolen's Lucky Tweed, which is a Donegal tweed made in Donegal, but it's made with merino wool, which is unusual and gives it the just softest, most gorgeous hand. It feels amazing to work with. and I knit this sample. It's a steeked pattern, and it was my first time steeking, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I took a lot of pictures, I documented the process, and I even took a video of the actual cutting, and I'm going to write up a big post about that so that you guys can see how it went when I steeked it. But so basically what we had here was, while knitting it, I had 7 stitches in place of these bands here, and I worked those throughout so that the whole body was knit in the round, and then the sleeves were also knit in the round. And then once you had all of that up at the armhole, thanks Martha, then you join everything together and you work your decreases up in one piece. So the arms are not steeked like in a traditional steeked sweater, but the front was steeked open after the fact. Most of my frustration issues came with the instructions related to finishing the raw edge of the steek on the inside, and then also in knitting this collar that gets knitted on, and then where the shaping happens up here with the short rows in the collar, etc. It's I can't. I know everybody loves it. I feel like I should maybe take it down off display because people want to make it. I thought, well, if anything, we can just show it off as an example of the yarn, but it's tempting too many people. I don't know. I want to show you the inside though, because I'm really proud of my color work. Here we have the inside. Now I am a Fair Isle knitter who holds 1 yarn in each hand. So I use my right and my left hand, which is especially helpful when you're steeking and you don't have to do any purl rows. I mean, it just zips through. So I trained myself to, normally I'm a thrower or English style knitter, and I trained myself to knit continental in the first couple of years of the shop so that I could help people. But I purl for shit continental. I mean, I'm the worst at continental. So this was perfect that it called for steeking because I didn't have to do any purls and I could easily use my left hand. It just makes it so much better. Jill is going to be teaching a class here using my patina hat pattern that came out a few weeks ago in the Farmer's Daughter Craggy Tweed, and she's going to teach the method of using your left and your right hand. So whether you're a whether you're a thrower or a picker, English or continental, we will get you going practicing using both hands for color work. It just really speeds the process up, and as you can see, it keeps your wrong side extremely tidy because your yarns don't get twisted and crossed as much, unless intentionally, of course, you're catching a float. And I did catch floats in here. There's a few rows where they go very, very long, and even at that, you can't really tell where I've caught the floats. I almost like the wrong side better. But Powellton, I don't know. This is when it might be a little too fresh for me, a little too emotionally raw. I finished it right before Thanksgiving. It was something I really wanted to get done and off the needles. I just feel so ambiguous about it. It was so much work to have it not be just totally amazeballs when it was done. Anyway, so I only have one other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today, and that is Marie's Green Olive Knits upcoming January knit along. And if you participated in the Gansey knit along last year, you know how much fun that was. Ganseys abound, right? It was Ganseys everywhere, and Marie is kind of amping it up a little bit this year and adding even more to the whole experience by turning it into a little workshop. So if you're in knit camp already with Olive Knits, then you actually will be enrolled in the workshop for free. It's part of your knit camp dues. And if not, it's going to be $29.95, and that is actually, I think right now if you sign up it's $24.95. I think it might still be in the early bird sign up discount. But it's not just a pattern. So don't think, oh my God, $30 for a pattern. It's an entire workshop experience. So it will have lessons, it'll have videos, it'll have guides, step-by-step guides, tutorials, etc. And this is going to be a colorwork pattern. So if you're excited by seeing this, I highly encourage you to consider joining us with, it's called the Boathouse Knit Along. And it is calling for a heavy sport light DK yarn. So basically you want to find a yarn that's going to give you between 160 and 180 yards per 50 gram ball. And you'll need a main color and 6 contrast colors. And Marie recommends that you pair those in tones, lights and darks of 3 colors. So, you know, if you like a red, maybe go with a pink and then a dark green, a light green kind of thing. That's a recommendation. Of course, you don't have to do that, but that's kind of how she's laying it out. And so we are really excited about this here at the shop. We already have people picking out their yarn. I've been picking out my yarn, and I am going to use Rowan Felted Tweed. Now, Rowan Felted Tweed falls slightly outside of that range that she gave for yards per 50 grams, but I believe it's a true exception to the to that range, because the felted quality of how this yarn is made allows for more yardage per 50 grams without changing the gauge. It's one of those outliers that doesn't conform to the weight per yards standard that we use so frequently. So I'm just going to show you right here. This is our color card. These are the current colors for Felted Tweed. And then there's a couple right here. These are extra special colors here. And you can see you've just got so many choices to make a beautiful palette. I have like 3 different combinations that I'm leaning towards, so I don't know how I'm going to decide. But if you think you might be interested, we'll have this yarn up on the website later today, and you can pre-order through us. There's some other options though I want to show you really quick before we go. We have some people who are going to use the Blue Sky Eco Cashmere that I just showed you earlier. Laura's going to do that. That yarn that I'm doing my dad's scarf in, that's going to be amazing. She's using that for the body of her sweater. And then also this yarn from Rowan, Cashmere Tweed. So this one I have not rolled out yet either. So here's the Cashmere Tweed. This stuff feels so good, you guys, so good. And this would be absolutely beautiful. The color range is more limited, but you have a texture thing that's making up for that. I mean, going with this one, oh, it would be amazing. And then last but not least, kind of a surprising option is Rowan Alpaca Classic. So this is a brushed alpaca yarn, and it's got a little bit of cotton in it. A very intriguing yarn, and it's right in the right gauge range, and it would give you some beautiful texture. Now, one thing Marie has said about this pattern, since we don't know what it looks like entirely yet, is she said it is inspired by the bohus tradition of sweater knitting. And so if you're familiar with bohus, you know what that is, but if not, basically bohus had beautiful yokes, colorwork yokes, but there would be a mix of knits and pearls, so you have some of that reverse pearl color action where you can see a hint of the color you're changing from. And then it also was traditionally used with yarns that had a blend of Angora in them, so there was a little bit of a soft halo brushed effect. And I think that using some of the brushed tweed, the Alpaca Classic in there would be perfect, because it's going to give you that same kind of effect as an original bohus had. And if you've got yarns that are relatively all matched up gauge wise, you can mix and match with your extra colors. So anyway, lots to choose from. We are all so excited about this knit along. You know, this is pretty much what you're going to hear about for the next couple of months. And I would love if you wanted to join us and participate. And so do some thinking on that. Go check it out at oliveKnits.com. Go see if you can sign up and get the early bird discount for $24.95 instead of $29.95. I think pictures of the finished sweater are going to be coming out sometime in the next couple of weeks. I have to double check. I didn't check on that before we got started. So give it a thought. Let us know. Yeah, Cashmere Tweed for the contest colors would be perfect, Sarah. I think it would be really fun. So making a decision is going to be hard. That's all I've got for you right now. I hope that you all have a lovely weekend full of knitting, full of crocheting, full of yarn, coffee, hot alcoholic beverages, whatever tickles your fancy. So we will see you next Friday, same time, same place. Bye, everybody.